Hello and welcome. So it is me, Raziel, and it's Friday, so I'm going to just do a roundup of the week of what everybody's doing. Now, first things first, Warcradle aren't doing much. They've already announced their Independence Battle Fleet for the Union and Dystopian Wars, and we know that's going to cost you £55. You can pre-order it now, and I would suggest if you're looking at getting into Dystopian Wars, this is a decent fleet to get into. The Union's quite a fun-looking fleet. You have the Colossus John Henry with their mighty hammers, because why don't you want big flying robots in your, naval game? It is solid, it is cool, and, Warcradle models are always good-looking. I have yet to see a model which I'm going to go, oh, that's kind of ugly. Okay? So, yeah. So there is that. So with Warcradle, we've still got the... They're still talking about the Independence Battle Fleet, and it's well worth looking into. Now, of course, there is Games Workshop. Games Workshop, however, dropped Horus Heresy Thursday yesterday, and that arvus lighter. It has been remade. It is going to still be resin, though. It's not plastic, because, why would they want to drop the £82.50 price tag that this thing will cost? Well, it did cost you, so expect it to cost more. £82.50 for this. It is a heap of... It has a 12 capacity. Oh, look, it has a 12 capacity for a solo auxiliary vehicle. It has no way of defending itself. It has no weapons. It only has a front and side of 11 and a rear of 10. So it's not going to be that strong. And it is a flyer, so you'd expect decent movement. 20-inch movement and a ballistic skill of 3. And why does it even have a ballistic skill? It can't shoot. That's completely pointless. Why say, oh, look, give a ballistic skill? It doesn't shoot. It can't shoot. So why give... It's just a ballistic skill. What's the point? Okay? So, yeah. So we've reintroduced the arvus light. It's going to go back out as resin. And, of course, people are excited for it. They always are. Okay? But this does actually kind of draw on to my next point. Because, of course, it's 75 points as well. So it's a low point model with a high point cost for... Horus Heresy, and of course 140k. And if you want, you can actually save money. It's 30 points. You can get the Oryx Armored Transport. It has a 15-inch movement range and a troop capacity of 10. It has only 30 points though, which means you can take more. And this one actually can have a weapon. It's not a very good weapon, but it can still have a weapon: a stubber, multi-laser, or a heavy flamer. So, at least there's something there to defend itself should it get into any sort of trouble. But that is also £75 because that is, of course, resin and into Forge World. Okay, so yeah, I'm not a fan of Forge World. I'll never be a fan of Forge World. And I can't ever defend or justify the expenditure Forge World now gives you. Because here's the thing. Resin isn't that expensive. I'm painting resin at the moment. And better resin than I've ever seen from GW as well. And it is probably one of the more expensive models I've paid for. It cost me 28 quid. It's the Ichiko Kuga Legendary model, and it's a fantastic looking model. I love it, and it's actually looking pretty good. I'm quite impressed with how it's turning out. But again, it's £28, and it is a decent model. And it's probably smaller than the arvus lighter, but it's not that much smaller that it's going to cost so much more. Okay, but the arvus lighter is that much more expensive. And there we go. That's the arvus lighter. It's I honestly think this is more of an insult to Horus Heresy players more than anything, because seriously, £82.50. I can't see them dropping the price either. And of course, talking about milking a cow dead, we have the End and Death Volume 3. Volume 3. Wait. The Horus Heresy has been going for almost 20 years now. And just to really entice how pointless and long it has been, you need 3 books to understand it. And the entire thing has been well written in codex in less than 5 pages. But no, we need several thousand pages of how it's happening. Oh, we need to know all these... No. You don't need to know who got there, because the whole point of the story is Horus's betrayal, and finally the Emperor dying. Well, not dying at his hand, Horus dying, and everything like that. Okay? I'm going to spoil this for you. Right, ready? Horus biffs it. Emperor almost biffs it. Sanguinius biffs it. Dawn cries a bit. Quite a lot, actually. Like, it actually gives his entire legion a Gene Seed flaw because of how upset he is. It's a very rare Gene Seed flaw, but yeah. Imperial Fists, their flaw is they like to cry. And so there you go. And that's just, again, it's just kind of why the Scouring is a good place to start. You could do the Scouring. There's 10,000 years of stories in between the Horus Heresy and where the story is now at the 41st millennium. There's 10,000 years, but they want to focus on the Siege of Terra. Jeez. I don't think, like, the Discworld novels didn't go on this long. They didn't. And they were written by one person about a planet with centuries worth of stories, you know? But that's also very good books. There are. Hogwarts is good as well. Always worth reading. Yeah, there is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 37 Discworld novels based on the planet. Not read completely unenjoyed, apart from the first two, and of course the younger ones at the back. I keep forgetting. I've not probably read those ones, but so they're completely enjoyed. And you know, unfortunately, yes, of course, Terry Pratchett did pass away, but he wrote an entire universe in this, and he has stretched it throughout a long period. He's had wars in there, and he's made it very good. So there's like 50 books for Horus Heresy, and they're still stretching it out for no apparent reason. Anyway, that's a bit bygone, and let's get back to the Aurochs. The Aurochs armored transport, okay? Hopefully we'll get this in plastic, so at least, Solar Exilia, the most expensive army, and one of the, highest, not financially, it's very expensive, and points cost, it's very cheap, so you're going to be spending, God knows, for this really bad army, would get a plastic Aurochs, which would be great. Now let's talk about what Mantic have announced this week. More pre-orders to go with the new Firefight, okay? Great, I love it. And we have had flyers getting remade, okay? And that is the Astarians. But I want to talk about the Aurochs first. Now the Aurochs has a fantastic looking proxy you can get. And it won't cost you that much. It will cost you exactly the same as the Forge World Aurochs. And you know what you're thinking. Well, if it costs the same, when was what you talk about? Okay, so 3 will cost you the same as the Aurochs. So it's 3 for £75. There's a lot of these pre-orders they are releasing for the new Firefight, which, by the way, I'm really looking forward to, is these battle groups and the armoured battle group. And it's 3 tanks. It's the GCPS Marauders Plague. And Wolverine battle group, and these, I tell you what, they are fantastic looking, and they would be great proxies for Aurochs. And of course, you won't be able to use them in the official sense because GW rule says you can't use anything but their models in their tournaments, which is bloody stupid, to be honest with you. I don't like that rule. I think that's one of the most stupid rules I've ever heard from anyone. Imagine that was in a tennis competition. Slazenger goes, "Yeah, you can only use our rackets if you don't use anyone else's rackets. That's not allowed." What about head? No, Slazenger only. Okay. Stupid. What? Stupid rule. Oh, but they want to sell their products. I don't care. It's a stupid rule to only be able to use one certain products for a tournament. Bloody stupid. I don't like it. Again, any other company, any other tournament would stupid. It's just daft. Okay. Anyway, so basically, and to throw nose out is the Astarians was again the thing that Mantic have talked about, and that's part of their pre-orders and these battle groups. And of course, the new Enforcer battle group, which is okay, it's really good too. The Mantic one is fantastic as well, because in the Mantic one you get some great model. Of course, you get the new Enforcers vehicles, which aren't actually new Enforcers. They managed to license them from Warlord, I believe, of all people. Again, I just love the fact that GW's competition are literally teaming up now to go against them. GW doesn't have competition. GW has competition. And it's the Enforcer Pathfinder Recon Force. This is a fantastic one. You get 2 flyers. I love my flyers, so this gets me kind of excited. And you get in this lovely thing 2 plastic enforcer pathfinders, combat drones, 2 resin enforcer drones, 20 hard plastic enforcer pathfinders, 2 resin enforcer forward observer, and there you go. So you get a fair whack in that. And it does look pretty good, and it's a nice looking army, and it will be pretty cool to start. If you're not doing forces for firefight, get the box with them in them. The other 5, not the new one, the older one, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. It's a fantastic box for anyone getting into firefight. And if you're getting into enforcers, get the Belt of Cabot box for set 95, and of course get this enforcers, and you will have a very good enforcer army from the start. You wouldn't actually have to get much more. You could just get the other enforcer strike force for some more flyers and jet bikes, and you'd have a great army, and it'd be great fun to play. So that is this week's roundup and complete moan about Games Workshop and, you know, screwing up for another mod. £82.50. Come on. Well, who's gonna? There's always gonna be someone defending GW's stupid ideas, to be honest with you. £82.50, fuck me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you all again soon. Wayland Games, of course, down below if you want to save money on your Warhammer, which I would seriously suggest, but unfortunately they don't actually lose much profit out of it. But you can always try someone else there, which I also do. I always go to get my WW Wild West Exodus stuff from Wayland Games. I've just started my new posse, my Empire posse, with the Pride of Nekamata, Legendary Ichiku Kuga, and Nakana Goza. And I've also got my Secret Service one and some books. Yeah, go pick up the book, pick up Lazarus. It's really good. I'm reading that right now as well. So there you go. And then of course there is Forbidden Planet if you like comics. I like comics too. So yeah, there's my comic if you like scary comics. And there is of course my merchandise, cups, t-shirts, etc., etc. What everyone else does, but with my art and my silliness, and Patreon. But as always, please treat yourself first. I would rather you force something for yourself rather than, you know, just give me money. I don't mind you giving me money, but, you know, treat yourself first. You're worth it. Bye bye.